Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be building a stone paper scissors program in Python. So first we'll create it as raw and as straightforward way as we can, and then we'll try to make it more organized. We'll use dictionaries and we'll make functions to make things more organized. Okay, so we'll go step by step, like very incremental steps. Say, so the first thing we have to do is take user input. Okay, so yeah, so first thing we have to do is take a user choice. So enter your choice, and for that, so we'll take one as a stone and two as paper and three as scissors. Okay. So yeah, and since the input is a number, we can safely typecast it into integer. So we can have some checks upon this condition that the user has to input number only, but we'll handle those details later. So for now, I'll just try to print user choice, right? And for that, I'll just use Python and SPS.py. So if I enter 3, it will print 3. Cool. So this is the first step. Then we have to create a computer choice. So for that, we'll be using a module. Module are basically Python files, uh, which has the functions and classes within it. So yeah, modules and packages are two ways to organize a Python project, but that we'll discuss later, like in some other video. So as you can see, the random has a rand int function that returns an integer between A and B, and these like if I enter 1 comma 3, so the random integer will be between 1 and 3, including 1 and 3, including both the endpoints, as you can see. Okay, so now we have to compare these two and see which one wins. Okay, so first we'll simply print the choices. Users choice is so it is, so we will use f strings because we have to, so like each time we have to create have to, we have to map one with stone paper, like two with paper and three with scissors. For that mapping we can use the uh, dictionary. So I'll create a choice name as a dictionary, and we'll use key one as a and the value of one will be stone, two value will be paper, and three value will be scissors. Okay, so and here I'll just uh, so I'll use f string, choose choice name of let's say user choice, and similarly I've copy pasted and choice and computers choices this. So first let's try to run this much and see how it goes. So let me select paper this time. So yeah, so my choice was paper, and the computer randomly chose scissors. From here, this random gave 3, and that 3 was mapped to scissors for like I we can try this again. If I select stone, this time computer choose paper. Okay. So now we have to make these comparisons, right? If so, the first thing we can check is if the user choice equals to com choice, uh, we'll print draw, right? And if like if we use user choice equals to, let's say, what, uh, like instead of using 1 2 3 separately, we can create some variables for that. So like stone will be 1, paper will be 2, and scissors can be 3. 3. Cool. So instead of writing one which is less readable, I mean, we can type it if user choice equals to stone, and then if computer choice equals to, let's say, paper, we'll print wins on paper. Yeah. So computer wins. Cool. And else, uh, print user wins, because we had already check the equality of these things, right? So like now there are only two cases left. Either, so if the user choice is stone, either the computer choice will be paper or the scissors. Yeah. So similarly we can do three more conditions like this. So we will improve this further down the line, but for the time being, as straightforward as things can be. So I'm trying that with papers, scissors, so computer wins, and if it is scissors, and this is stone wins, and yeah, that's all. So let's try to run this much of the code, see what happens. What happens? So let me choose scissors. So I chose scissor, computer chose paper, and user wins. That means I win. Then I'll try this stone. It's a draw, and computer wins. Okay. So, but the issue right now is that like each time we have to play, we have to um, run the command again and again. So to manage that, we can simply run this in a while loop. So this choice name can be shifted upward because it's just more or less a constant thing which will never be changed. And yeah, and this much goes like from asking user for its input to printing the whoever won. This is the repeatable code. This has to be run each time. Okay. So I'll just try an infinite while loop, right? And that's it. So if I run two, I1. So yeah, so we can play this whole like randomly. Okay. Yeah. So if you see, even after draw, it says user wins. So there's this error in this code. So like if this happens, this shouldn't go further, right? So we can use continue statement for that, and yeah. So if it's a draw, it won't check further down the line. So if we had to do it one time, like as like without loop, so we should have added here exit 0 to stop the further execution of code, right? And then also it would have worked. Uh, And now to come out of it, we'll have to press Control C, like if then that infinite loop was. So if I uh, yeah, now it only says draw, nothing further. So, but if we were to have an infinite loop, we'll have to add a continuous step. Okay, cool. So now, now let's think. Yeah, now we have to create a track of the users, like codes. Okay, so we'll say user score equals to 0 and com score equals 0. So let's say each round of like stone paper scissors would be of five rounds. Okay, so we can say like user score plus compass score is less than five. Yeah, should work. Like if it's a draw, it will continue. It won't add an app. So we can do comp score plus equals one and user score plus equals one. So we'll make these things more organized in some time. Right now we are just like typing things in the most straightforward ways as we can. So, okay, and after these 5 points, we'll simply print the score equals f strings here. Use score uh, score uh, user score is greater than form score print one left is less than form score print um, is print. Although the draw statement won't shouldn't come because it's five and yeah. Anyways, so let's try to run this. I already choose stone. It's a draw. So I'll just okay. User score is 4 and computer score is 1. I won. So yeah, this was the okay. So now let's see how can we make this code a more organized sort of, right. So the first thing which we see here is this line of code is repeated again and again. Computer wins and computer score plus one. Computer wins, computer score plus one, and this line of code as well. So these two lines can be combined into a simple one function call, and that is repeated. So we'll make things more organized in that way. Okay, so we can just create a uh, like comp win function, right? And we'll just copy these lines and paste in here. So if you see, if we have to declare this function, yeah. So if a global variable is used inside a function, it has to be declared as global com score, and only then we can change it, right? Like if we had to access this com score, we could have done it easily here. But if we want to change it, like we have to add one in it, then we have to declare as the first line, like that this com score is a global variable. Okay, so now we can replace these like these lines here with the com1 function. Okay, sorry about that. And yeah, these and similarly can create a function user will use user will then put this up, sorry, replace user. We'll make this code even more organized. Okay, okay. Yeah. So now this much we have reduced some lines of code, and the main logic has become a bit simpler. So yeah, so like if now we have to change the user win print statement, like here, if we want to add some more exclamation marks or something else, we have to just do it at one place. So yeah, now we can see that this block of code is specific to this tone thing, right? I mean, yeah, so we can consolidate these functions, like these blocks of code, into functions which with this choice only, right? Yeah, so if you see this block of code can be created into another dictionary of the sort. Okay, so we can this is choice functions, right? And that can be mapped to function, right? And that can be lambda function with which can take in this uh, choice. So, so if the form choice function, so if we enter user choice in here, then it will return back if form choice function, user choice function. If we enter form choice here, right? So it will execute this line if the com choice is paper, it will execute this. If com choice equals to paper, else user, right? And to make this work perfectly, we have to shift this above, right? And similarly, we can have two more functions, right? If scissors, and com choices, and there has to be commas at the end of each statement. Sorry for that. Right. So these can also be choice functions, user choice functions, and here we'll input the comp choice. User's choice functions of stone and right, like stone is basically one, right? Stone, and then we can enter in the comp choice here, and this should work, right? So if we change like these changes everywhere down here, this will, like, if a statement will change, like this stone has to be paper, has to be paper, so we can safely remove all these things and even this, and we can here just enter user choice. Okay, so user choice functions of this user choice, if we pass in compute com choice here, it will execute the code as, like, as per the, like these functions. Right. So let's check this thing once, if this works fine or not. If you do Python, this, if I do one computer wins, okay, computer wins by 3 and 2. Okay, so it works fine. So if you see, there are two dictionaries with the same keys, so we can easily consolidate them into one dictionary, like like choices, right? And the choices, the, like each like each value is a dictionary in itself with choice this, and let's say function as this value goes here. Similarly, this goes, and function has to be this value itself, and similarly there has to be a close, and name has to, and function has this. Right. Okay. Can be removed. Yeah. So for these, okay, I don't think this would cause any issue. Like, like if we want to be safe, we should define these functions above here. Although this won't have any issues. So yeah, so we'll have to change few things down here, because choices of user choice and the name, right? Like, if the user choice is one, the word stone is inside the name key, right? And similarly, we can do choices, the choice, and here goes name. If you see closely, I had used single quotes here, because if I use double quotes, like they would have issues with the outer double quote. So just to keep this in mind. So similarly here as well, sorry, choices, choice, and here there has to be function, fun, and then this. Yeah, I think that's all. Right. This is this is all we could do to make the code more compact and readable. So we can also make classes for this user and comp instead of making this value, but that would be an overkill, not needed. So yeah, that's using okay, cool. So that was it. Thank you. Please check out the new videos if you like to watch more. Like, subscribe, share. Thanks.